Arch Manning has lost the locker room at Texas. This is a Big 12 program that left. I hope that all of you Texas fans are, we're making $20 million more a year in the SEC. You will never see a dime from that. Jaden from Pflugerville, Danny from Lorena, Kevin from Coppell. Not a dime.
Skip from Groesbeck.
And now the Longhorns, Groesbeck, right? And now
still not.
No, Arch Manning has lost the locker room at Texas. Steve Sarkisian, dejected in a press conference, tells the media that he looks out, he's driving away from the complex, looks out his car, and what does he see? But Arch Manning is leading his own player walkthrough. So number one red flag here is losing trust in the coaching staff.
Players only meeting before they've even played a game. It's bad. It's bad news, man.
He has circumnavigated the coaches and said, I'm going to do this myself. Not only that, only half the team chose to participate in this. So he has, one, gone around the coaches, two, split the locker room in having his own walkthrough on the field. And we already know there have been issues with the culture under Steve Sarkisian. Remember the intern he yelled at that one time? Thought he was going to punch him. That was a really bad. Remember the monkey thing? Pole?
Yes. Pole assassin.
Pole assassin. We have seen some very interesting and odd culture things out of Steve Sarkisian in the program. And now there's the quarterback going behind the coaching staff to lead his own team meeting, and only half the team showing up. I don't think this is reported by Ann Parker Coleman, by the way. She is KVUE. She had the official quote where Sark says that he was going home and Arch Manning was still there leading his own little powwow. Man, having listened to the press conference, this isn't good. This is something that I don't like if I'm a Texas fan.
It's not a great sign, is it? I don't think Vince Young ever let his player only walk through, and look what it did for him. Not a great look when you are putting a ton of eggs in the Arch basket, and reasonably so. Like, the kid's an unreal prospect, and the little we saw of him last year, he looked really good. Looked like he was kind of worth that. But man, it's not. It does not induce any kind of confidence, especially with that Ohio State game looming early in the season, right? It's Ohio State, is that it?
Yes.
Yeah. Like that's one of those where it's like you could be fed to the wolves if they're not ready to ride with this kid. And I think there was some talk like that when Quinn first got there. It kind of got alleviated pretty quickly. Like,
by the way,
Quinn Ewers was a good leader. It wasn't like a great quarterback, but
Quinn Ewers, who was never a great quarterback at Texas.
No, like
never did anything special.
And it's, I would say,
you know
it's too
bad.
I
was. You ready for this? Can I say this?
Oh, don't say it.
A worse Sam Ehlinger.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Gary Bohannon.
No, but at times I would have rather had Gary Bohannon, which is going to be crazy. Somebody out there is like, what are you talking about? Gary was at least safe. That one year, Baylor won the Sugar Bowl. Guess what Texas couldn't do? Win the Sugar Bowl.
Facts. Sam Ehlinger did it. So
he did. And they were back after that.
They were so back. But yeah, I would say, like, I wouldn't say it's too bad for me because I like watching the Texas Longhorns lose. But if you're a UT fan, like, I think there's something a lot left to be desired from the Quinn Ewers tenure. It's almost, they almost went on a rise in spite of him. Like, again, was he awful? No, not going to say that. But if they had a real legit kind of all-American level quarterback, which is what you'd expect at the University of Texas, if they had someone like that, we're probably talking about a national championship appearance. You know what I mean? Instead, you're talking about losing in the Final Four 2 years in a row with a quarterback that just didn't elevate you. You know, he just didn't make you any better, really, for a really good team. I think Arch is going to be better. Obviously, this is his first year, like, against real opponents, real SEC defenses. You got a couple of the Texas had a pretty easy schedule last year in the old Southeast Conference. He's going to be thrown to the wolves a little bit. And if he only has half his offense ready to rally around him, I don't like those numbers. Don't like those odds.
Arch Davis. Is Arch Davis the second best quarterback in the SEC?
Doubt it.
Huh. Arch Davis is probably in the same Austin Simmons category or whoever Alabama has, that may be the Alabama quarterback, actually.
Austin Simmons, that's when you make your player in college football 26.
Correct.
That's what it says at first, right? Before you change the day.
And Gunnar Stockton, same deal. Those are all just Arch Davis. Oh, but Arch Davis got adopted biologically by Peyton Manning's family. That's where the thing
I got
goes.
it. Okay.
Like, oh, yeah, Cooper was the dad, but the last name's Manning. By the way, if only Cooper existed, had there not been the Archie, the Peyton, and the Eli, he really is just Arch Davis. We really are.
Yep.
He was good in high school, wasn't elite. His rankings were by and large because of his the name and the offers. And everybody wants a piece.
I don't know, man. I think you're wrong. I think the Herb Street kid is ready to take on that On3 national analyst job.
From that first interview.
Oh, sorry.
That was specifically done with one of his friends that he played football with. Played is a strong word. That he played football with. It was like, hey, bud, so how you doing?
Remember
Hilarious interview. Kirk Herbstreit, congratulations to your son for being hired by On3. While Cameron Stewart and I are over here. I mean, I'm filling up glasses of water in the hotel to put in my carry-on so I can just have running water at my house. But Kirk Herbstreit's son gets to work for On3. I
love seeing an underdog story like that.
This is a situation like that where we have built the hype around a last name. Now, maybe he's good. And look, kid, by all accounts, is awesome. Good kid. Family.
Does not seem like a douche. Like, really doesn't.
Good family.
And he has every excuse to be.
So I think that a lot of this stems from Texas just not having a good culture, from Texas not having a coaching staff that's ready for the good kid, that's ready for the good guy to come in and be the hero. Texas is great at playing heel. That's what they love to do. They love to be the bad guy. Arch doesn't fit that. I'm not going to put this on the kid. I'm going to put this on the program, and I think that's where the divide comes from.
And if that is the case, which I'm not in a position to disagree with you on this from all that we've seen and heard, then that becomes like another question of one of these big mighty SEC SEC programs that just buys the best talent. I know you've seen these stories. I've seen these stories from kids committing to Baylor and Tech and TCU or whatever, and they're just saying, "Yeah, UT offered me this, but they didn't really care. They didn't care if I came there or not." And if you get into that boat, which you kind of need to some extent to be a real player in college football, I get it. But this is the risk you run. I don't care who my teammates are. I don't care where we're playing. I've got $600,000 in the bank. I don't care who my quarterback is. I don't care if I'm staying late after practice. There is some of that. There is. I don't want to sound like the old guy on Facebook, but there is some of that when that's the game you're playing. That's why, these programs like Georgia, for example, who are out on the recruiting trail like nobody else and have an excellent X's and O's man management football coach. Doesn't keep off the roads when he needs to. Doesn't do that. But Kirby Smart is a great engaged coach. Saban was the same thing. Steve Sarkisian, terrific offensive coach. X's and O's guy through the roof. But if Texas is going to take that next step, we need to have more confidence in the quarterback, Arch Davis. We need to have more people out there in the walkthrough. We need to have more of a connection with the staff and the players and all that.
Speaking of the old guy on Facebook, did you see Lamar Jackson adopted 17 orphans?
No way.
They live with him now. They had a picture of it and everything. Picture of
future
him.
Big 12 legend, by the way. Lamar Jackson, Louisville.
Correct. Picture of him with all 17 of them. I didn't know he had 6 fingers. That was new to me. That was weird. His hand looked odd.
The lighting was something, too, if I remember the same picture. It was really something.
Yeah.
Everything was kind of brown in the background.
Yeah, kind of glossy.
The light shade, yeah.
Sure. But 17 orphans. Congrats to Lamar on saving a lot of lives there. And on the 6th finger that he has on his right hand now, it gives him the NFL advantage. Cameron Stewart, at Real Cam Stewart still?
Yeah, still. I got some fake ones coming up, though.
Good. Camerino. Real ones, no. Shout out Scotty B. Miss you.
Shout out, man.
I miss him.
The king.
I was with a former Baylor athlete this weekend, and she was like, man, I wish you and Scotty B would make up. And I was like, I do too. This has been It Always Will Be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Let's cross over with Baylor. Dose Grande.
you.